Here's a fact. If your nonprofit's website is outdated, unclear, or clunky to use, you're losing money. And no amount of social media posts or email blasts can make up for a bad donation experience. You may be doing an amazing job of driving people to your website from other channels, but if they get there and they can't figure out how to actually process a donation, they'll give up. And everything you've invested in donor acquisition goes right out the window. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why your website might be turning donors away without you even realizing it, and what a donor-focused website actually looks like, and how to make some small changes that create a big improvement in giving. Because here's the truth, if it's hard to give, people won't, period.
Welcome to Profitable Nonprofits. I'm Bernadette Mack, and I help nonprofit leaders just like you build sustainable, thriving organizations without the burnout. If you're tired of constantly chasing donations, or you struggle with engagement, or you're wondering how to make a bigger impact, well, you're in the right place. Each week, we tackle real nonprofit challenges with practical, no-fluff strategies that you can apply right away. You're doing all the hard work, so now let's make it a little easier.
Friends, this is 2025, and our websites are not simply online brochures. Your website is not just an About Us page or a digital version of your annual report. It is a tool, a strategic tool, and if it's not designed to guide visitors to a specific action, especially a donation action, it's not doing its job. I've done website audits for many nonprofits, and mostly from a copy perspective. And let me tell you, most of the problems aren't because people don't care what their website looks like. It's usually because they've overcomplicated things, or they're too close to the work, or they just don't know how to structure the site for better donor behavior. Now, I'm not a web design expert by any means, but I have learned a lot from some really great ones. And at the end of this episode, I'll give you the name of the person that I recommend the most when it's time to redesign or to completely rebuild a website and to get one that actually works for you. But first, let's talk about a few solutions that you can explore on your own. My very first question for everyone is always, do you have access to your own website, and can you make changes to it on your own as needed? If the answer is no, then you must change this. If you can't hop onto your computer, or someone hop onto your computer or their computer on your team and update like coming events, or put a new banner up, or add a new board member's headshot, this is a problem. If you have to submit a work order or try to get a hold of your college roommate to have changes made to your site because they're the ones who built it, you're wasting time, and you're running the risk that your website becomes out of date, and therefore it's unreliable. People don't know if the information on there is accurate or up to date. And that might sound kind of dramatic, but it's true. Even if it's subconsciously, people are judging your organization, or any business for that matter, based on how their website performs. And websites have come a long way. It doesn't take a crazy expensive, giant, fancy website to be effective and current. So it does not have to be fancy. It just has to be up to date, and it has to actually work when people go to it. I've got a few more ideas on that in a bit, but let's take a break, and when we come back, I'll arm you with a bunch of things that you can do to improve your site, and or decide if you need someone else to help you. And the hint is you probably do. It's probably worth your time and money to have a professional do it for you.
Hey, nonprofit leaders. Still thinking email is just for sending announcements or asking for donations? Think again. Your inbox strategy could be the key to unlocking donor engagement, campaign success, and year-over-year growth. And I've got just the thing to help you get it right. My on-demand training, How Email Will Shape the Success of Your Next Campaign, breaks down what's working in email today, what to stop doing immediately, and how to build email habits that actually convert. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to revamp your entire approach, this session is packed with insights that you can put to use right away. Watch the training now at bernadettemac.com under Resources and give your next campaign the inbox glow up it deserves.
All right, first things first, you can perform your own website audit. So before you hire a marketing firm or run another ad campaign on social or start driving people to your website for a certain reason, for a campaign or whatever, you should really audit your existing site. Why? Because you don't need more traffic going to your site until you know that what these visitors are experiencing when they get there is working for them. And here are a few questions that you can ask. How easy is it to find your donate button? This sounds so basic and elementary, but you'd be surprised how many organizations hide their donate button in weird places. It's generally supposed to be in the top right. That's where everyone's looking to find your donate button. And maybe it's there, but maybe it has some weird language on the button instead of donate or give. They've got stand with us or something vague. It needs to be clear. So how easy is it to find that donate button? How many clicks does it take to make a gift? Sometimes trying to make a gift ends up being going down a rabbit hole. You're clicking and then you get to this page and you got to scroll down and find the other button that takes you to this page, or otherwise it's going to tell you about planned giving, whatever. How many clicks does it take to get to that donation page? And is it clear what impact the donation is going to have? And also, what is the loading time on your donation page? Is your language on the site actually engaging? Or is it all buzzwords and vague feel-good phrases? You might be shocked about how often the problem with your website isn't about traffic. People might be going there. It's conversion that's the problem. So get that part right first. You can also usually find someone willing to do an audit of your site, sometimes even for free. So if you're not comfortable making your own assessments and doing your own audit, consider finding a professional who will do that and give you some great, probably easy things to fix to help improve your site and help the user experience. Next up is improve your website copy. And let's just talk about messaging. And I'll say this louder for the folks in the back. Your mission and the impact that donors can make by supporting your mission should lead your website's messaging. It's not about flashy designs, carousels, videos, all that stuff. It's about having clear, compelling language that makes the visitor think, yes, I see the value of this mission. Yes, I see myself being part of this. If your homepage says something like, we strive to improve the lives of underserved populations through quality services and community engagement, yikes! You have already lost them. Bro, what? Better copy sounds like maybe every donation, every $10 donation helps a local student get the school supplies they need to succeed. Or together we can protect 100 acres of vulnerable habitat this year. Your gift makes it possible. You're not just describing what you do. You're giving people a reason to act. And that's what moves donors. One important thing to remember about website copy is to put yourself in the visitor's shoes. Does the copy make sense to someone who's completely unfamiliar with your organization? Is there a progression through the site that takes visitors along and delivers them to a point of action? Maybe your goal with your site is to get people on your email list so that you can start being in better contact with them and dripping out stories and impact about your organization over time so that they will decide to become a donor. Or maybe you're just trying to drive people to your site because the people who come to your site are there mainly to make a donation anyway. There's not a lot of information or anything to really learn necessarily on the site, but it's a tool to get them to make the donation. Make sure whatever journey they're going on when they get to your site that you're taking them step by step through that process and it takes them right to the action you want them to take. That's how a website works for you. Forget everything that you know about your organization and ask yourself when you're looking at the website, why should anyone care about this? And, pick all the copy apart. What does this sentence even mean? Sure, we might say it all the time, but what does it actually mean to anyone who's looking at it? Does it mean anything? Are you being clear enough? Use your website copy to connect the dots for people on the problem, on why the problem is important, what your solution is, why you're the best organization to provide that solution, and why now is the best time for that. People cannot be expected to connect their own dots. You have to connect the dots for them. They will not do it. Unless there's someone who's already connected to you and feels motivated to give, and they've already had their dots connected and they get it. They're into it. Everyone else needs to be taken on that little journey to understand why this is important. Getting someone to make a donation when they visit your site is not their top priority. This is something we have to remember. It's not their top priority to come to your site and make a donation. It's yours. You do the heavy lifting in terms of illustrating why they should give. If they're trying to figure out exactly what you do and why, and you're making them click through 2, 3, 4 pages before they can even find the spot to enter their credit card information, and if you're asking for their autobiography on your donation forms, you're going to lose people. Only the very highly motivated donor is going to try to persevere if they have to keep clicking through things. If they're very determined, they will. Otherwise, they will not. And another fix is to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. The most common way that people view your site is on their phones. And according to recent statistics, over 60% of online donations now happen on mobile. If your site isn't optimized for that type of experience, if your donate form doesn't scale, or if your fonts are tiny, or the button requires 3 scrolls to find, you're losing money every single day. So go check your own site on your phone right now. Is it easy to give? Is it easy to read? Can you click donate without pinching and zooming like it's 2012? If not, that's your fix. That's your first fix. All right, number 4 is to get a professional redesign. Again, and this bears repeating, one of the most common problems I see with nonprofit websites and even small business websites is that they were built by developers on complicated platforms. And they're dependent on the developer every time they want to make edits or changes. And this is an awful situation, especially for a nonprofit. They often have to pay a huge fee to have their site built. And these sites are usually overly complex and hard to integrate with other software and other programs. And not having the ability to update their site as they need, on their own, is a disaster. If you're having to call a developer and get on their schedule to try to make changes to certain words on your front page or whatever, that is a huge, huge time problem. And if there's one thing that nonprofits need more of, it's agility. You need to be able to act quickly, especially when it comes to your website. Or another common thing is, and I've, talked about this many times before, I have strong feelings. They'll have a friend or acquaintance or someone they've worked with in the past agree to build them a site at a discount or maybe even for free. And because nonprofits are constantly pressured to save money and not spend too much on administration, like, quote unquote overhead, they get into these types of situations. Instead of paying a fair price to a professional who will deliver a site that they can manage as much as they want on their own. Bespoke websites may seem special and great, and it's like, oh, we're having a website designed just for us. It's being built for us. But these types of websites become dinosaurs real fast. You can get a quality, beautiful site built on like WordPress, and if the right person builds it, it's going to drive visitors to your sign-up form and to your donation page. If you take a good look at your site and you're ready to admit that it needs to be improved and you don't have the time or skill to do it, you don't need your website to look like it's homemade, but you also don't have to pay an arm and a leg, and you don't need to have, tens of thousands of dollars dropped into having a bespoke website that's too complicated for you to use and too hard for you to update on your own. If you're ready to have those changes made, I have one person that I recommend more than any other. Her name is Jenny Belanger of Jenny B Designs, and she is a designer who makes beautiful websites. She has an expert eye for conversions. She builds a lot of websites for small businesses and also for nonprofits. And so if the main goal of your website is to get people to sign up for your newsletter or to drive someone to make a donation, she knows how to do that. She's based in Boston, and I'm going to put her link in the show notes. I have absolutely I get nothing from recommending her. I'm just telling you that if you need someone to do a rebuild or a redesign, she's your girl. And this would be for organizations that only need a front-facing website and that don't need a giant database behind it. And I realize this doesn't work for all organizations, and that's why there are so many like all-in-one companies out there. But I have yet to see an all-in-one solution that does all of the pieces well. Maybe the website looks great, but the database is unwieldy and it's a huge monstrosity that nobody really needs all of that. It's too dynamic. Or maybe the email service works great and the front end kind of looks dated. There's never anything that strikes all the boxes. The only service that I think works well on most applications is Kajabi, which that's where I host my own content. I have a website, a podcast, a database for membership. I can sell items, courses, memberships through it. I can host a community on it. I can send my emails through it. I can send invoices through it, and probably even more. And all of it works really well, and it's very tightly integrated. So another thing, you can check out Kajabi. This I do have an affiliate link for, and I will put it in the show notes. And for anything extra that I need, there's usually a Zapier Zap for it. But if you decide to go with a beautiful WordPress site, a really great front-facing website, just know that there are plenty of simple CRM integrations that you can add that are going to work seamlessly with it. So please just don't get your cousin's roommate to redesign your website in his spare time, or pay tens of thousands of dollars for a bespoke site that no one on your team can manage, or just, continue to suffer along with a crappy site that you wouldn't actually want anyone to see. Hey, nonprofit leaders, does your mission statement actually inspire action? Or is it an old relic filled with nonprofit jargon and cliches? If you're looking to craft a mission, vision, and value statement that truly connects with donors, volunteers, and stakeholders, I've got the perfect resource for you. My Mission Workbook is a DIY guide designed to help you and your team clarify your purpose, align your messaging, and create statements that fuel real impact.
Stop talking around what you do and start connecting your mission with donors and members. Everything, and I do mean everything, starts with a well-written mission statement. Grab your copy today at BernadetteMac.com under Resources.
So that's the end of our episode. And this week, I just want you to do one thing. Visit your own website on your phone and try to make a donation. Pretend like you have never seen your site before. It's like when you're walking through your house, you don't see the, fingerprints on the wall that are always there, or, some spot that you just kind of pass by. It blends in. You kind of have a blindness for it. I always try to go through the house and pretend like it's the first time I'm there and really start to notice the things that I just glaze over in my daily life. So do that on your website. Show up as if you have never seen it before and try to do a couple of things on it. How hard is it to find your newsletter sign up page? Now, if you have a sign up form on your page and you don't actually send a newsletter very often, like only maybe a couple times a year or whatever, then maybe you don't want that to be your goal right now. You need to have a strategy for communication first before you start actively trying to drive people to sign up for your newsletter. Or, just see how long it takes you to find and complete a donation. If it's more than like 2 clicks, you really need to rethink it. So make a donation, do a real one, even if it's just $5. Just see, was it easy? How many steps did you have to take? How much information was asked of you? And if it wasn't easy, that's one thing that you have to try to fix right away. I know that donation forms can be tricky depending on the service you use, and trying to optimize them can be a little bit of a pain, but there are things I'm sure that you can do to make it easier and just make that pathway faster for people. Because usually if people are coming to your site and they know they want to make a donation, they want to get there fast and they don't want to have to skip through a whole bunch of different pages to figure it out, because they just won't. There's too much other competition for their time and attention. So make it easy, make it easier, remove a barrier and get closer to having more donations through your website. So if you do that, send me a message or leave me a voicemail at 914-297-7692. I want to hear about what you changed and if it made any difference.
Thanks for tuning in to Profitable Nonprofits. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new one. Also, consider providing a 5-star rating and help more nonprofit leaders find the show. For more resources and strategies to grow your nonprofit, visit BernadetteMac.com. And if you have a question or a topic you'd love me to cover, send me a message or leave me a voicemail at 914-297-7692. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep up the good work. And remember, running a nonprofit is tough, but you're tougher.